Hello all, Stacy the Black Feather Intuitive, and welcome to Divinely Decked, Tarot and Oracle Reviews done Stacy style. And today I am so excited. We have a brand new deck hot off the presses. Can't wait to unbox this baby and share it with y'all. So without further ado, let's get to it. So today we are exploring the Everyday Women Tarot. This is a Kickstarter campaign that I actually was lucky enough to get into after the fact. So the campaign had closed, and I don't know how it, kind of works on Kickstarter because I don't see this happen a lot, but they had an option with this one to keep it open and to go a little bit longer. And I was able to get in on the Kickstarter campaign option, and I'm super, super pumped. So let's take a peek and see what this baby is all about. I remember looking at the imagery and thinking, okay, it could be a hit or a miss for me. It's more of a modern style deck, but I love the idea that it's all about women, of course. I liked the idea that it's women in everyday settings, in doing the things that we do on a daily basis, right? Like, because for me, it's all about how do we make dishes and laundry more spiritual? And I really feel like, this deck kind of gave me that feeling. So let's kind of take a peek. I love the side of it here. Amber Tarot, Life Team Spirit, or Life Spirit Team. We have a beautiful indigenous shaman energy with a wolf on her head and a drum. We have Everyday Women Tarot, Life Spirit Team. No part of this publication. Oh, okay, so it's just giving us all the who to and the what for. Here we've got a character with, her hair hanging down off the couch. I got to tell you, I've done that a few times myself where I'm just like, make it stop. Let's take a look at the inside here. I love that it's a magnetic box. Always kind of a big deal. Messages from Everyday Women Tarot. It's kind of a black and white, which I wasn't expecting, black and white book when everything else is color, but we see her sitting here and meditating. We've got some squiggles and some stars in the background. It looks like it's a smaller, thinner guidebook. So let's just sort of take a peek. Okay, so they've got a little introduction that's literally printed right on the inside of the cover. It gives you a little message. You don't need to be an expert to use these cards. Simply open this book, draw a card, and read its message, as if the universe is speaking directly to you. Let the Everyday Women Tarot be your mirror, your guide, and your source of daily insight and inspiration. No pressure, no rules, just honest moments with yourself. Ooh, I love that. And then it just dives right on in. So all black and white, but it does give a full picture of each of the cards. Let's see if there's anything in the back. Oh, and it looks like they've renamed the suits. So we've got King of Pies. I should check that out. 8 of Snakes. Knight of Lipsticks. Okay, so now I'm going to have to do a little research to figure out what's what. King of Cups. So, all right, let's see. Let's see if it's going to give us any information on that. No, it doesn't. So, okay, so I guess we're gonna have to figure out what lipstick is. It looks like wands, but we'll see. Snakes, so air, maybe air, healing, and then pies, King of Pies. Maybe that's pentacles. All right, well let's figure it all out together. First of all, really loving the back of the cards. Kind of has a bit of a tribal feel to it, which I think is really cool. It's definitely reversible. It's got a nice matte finish, which of course you guys know I always love a matte finish. The card quality is pretty good. It's, I want to say, a step above the standard US Games card deck and card style. Okay, we've got King. So let's start with the Fool here. And let's take a peek and see. So really focusing on the yellow color here. Her companion here is an eagle. We've got the typical rocky landscape. She's standing on the cliff. She has that Rider-Waite Smith quality-esque to it, where we've got the rose that she's holding in her hands. She's barefoot. She almost looks a little dancer-like, a little ballerina-ish. Love that her hair matches the feather color of the eagle. Here we have the magician. Ooh, Garden of the Soul. I love that she's wearing her heels, rocking her heels and her jeans, and she's given a lesson. We also have the rose here and the lily. She's pointing to them. She's giving a lecture. There are audience members here, students paying attention. I love that. I think that's just fantastic. She's holding up her wand. The High Priestess. Ooh, this one looks cool. So here she's looking in the mirror, and I feel almost the energy here of scrying into a mirror, looking into the mirror to get messages and information. She's got a key with a heart on it, hanging on her hand. She has a cup of tea with the moon's cycle or the moon symbols on it. She does have a book, which kind of indicates like a scroll. And in the image of the mirror, we see all of the pomegranates, kind of like on vines. The mirror shows the two pillars that are reflected, and of course, it is at nighttime in the moonlight. I really like that. I like that her eyes are open. She does have a third eye here that is being reflected, and I feel like that's exactly it. She's scrying in the mirror. Here we have the Empress card. And so we're seeing an Empress. Okay, so she is pregnant. She's being depicted as pregnant in this. This is a picture, Mother's Garden. She is being assisted by an apprentice or mother and daughter that, sort of we could look at. There's a person holding this picture. There's sort of reminiscence, maybe looking into this to remind herself that she knows what to do. She has the skill set that she's been taught by the best. And here we have a dragonfly, and dragonflies are always about flexibility and adaptability. And I think that's really interesting here, that this particular image is showing, maybe a mother and a daughter, or sister working together in harmony to work the garden. And there is that need to be flexible because change is coming. There's a new idea that is about to be born. Here we have the Emperor card. Oh, very cool. So again, we're seeing a lot of the red depicted, which is very standard. It's the Emperor is very much a part of the game of life. Whenever I see a checkerboard, whether it's on a tile floor or an actual physical game, checkerboard in a card, it always symbolizes the game of life. And this Emperor looks somewhat amused, but maybe a little bit bored as well, like teaching someone, but that person isn't at their skill set yet. And so there's a little bit of the boredom, but also amusement, that I'm glad that I'm able to kind of teach you and show you the ropes and work through this. I like that there is fire that is being featured here. So we're not seeing a ram's head necessarily in the depiction, but we are getting the fire. And of course, the Emperor is the Aries card. The Hierophant. So this was the image that we saw on the side of the box, and we have a shaman doing some kind of circle, passing on wisdom, passing on ritual, and there's a lot of wind around her. I don't know if you can see that. Let me hold that up a little closer to the camera. There's a lot of wind around her, and so I feel like she's doing, sometimes they will do a rain dance. In this case, it's like she's stirring up the wind, calling forth, the cardinal directions, the four winds, to come and assist. And she has two, apt pupils who are participating. They're observing, but just their very presence being there, they are participating in this as well. Here we have the Lovers. Beautiful. So there's a welcome on the door. We have a lot of greenery here. The goddess is up on the balcony. She's got two trees with her. There's a snake that is, It almost looks like she's trying to feed the snake here. And she's got a couple of different suitors. So I like this because, she has choice. The divine feminine has option as to whether to use just the divine feminine to create what she needs to create, or to bring in the divine masculine to be, connected to the whole of what is. And one is a suitor on a bike, singing a song that he's composed for her, and one is in the sports car with the flowers kind of thing. So which one reflects more of who you are. The Chariot, just married. Oh, interesting. So we have a little hunchbug, convertible. All of the cans, it says your choice, love question mark. We have this makes me think of Harry Potter's The Snitch, but it's angel wings. We have a can with a heart on it. This says to the future. And this one, I can't read what it says. It's very, very tiny. Maybe inner moon or something. But that's really interesting. And we have one of the sphinxes sort of being outlined and highlighted in the clouds, it's an illusion, the illusory energy. And we see the path before them. So heading in a new direction. That's really cool. Justice. Very interesting. So we have a magistrate with the scales that are being represented in the background here. We have Lady Justice with the scales over here as well. So more natural, more organic, ancient wisdom as well, and justice versus the more modern. She's got the book here, and they're having a disagreement. They're going over contract here. Maybe this is divorce. Maybe this is something else entirely. But they're having to face the music and to really pay attention to the details. Yes, this is definitely a divorce or a marriage situation because of the two rings that are on the justice's gavel there. That's very interesting. And the justice here is the 8 rather than the strength card. So in this deck, it's reversed a little bit. The Hermit we have here, and I love this. This is the cover on the deck. That we have her all curled up, bundled up. It's a nice, cozy, a night to be cozy. She's got a lot of starlight around her. So she's not looking for the bright lights. She's looking to go within that deeply personal inner journey, the intimate journey that only she can take because it's within. There's an hourglass here, a lot of candles. So just really a lot of evaluation. The Wheel of Fortune, love it. So she's winning. She's playing roulette here, and she landed on black, and black won. Here's the Strength card. Ooh, so she's wearing a lion tank top, and she's kickboxing here. That's really fun. I like all the flower energy that's in there. The Hanged Man or the Hanged One. Okay, so this is another image that was on the box, and she's hanging upside down, putting her legs up. And if any of you have done yoga nidra, this is definitely a pose where you put your legs up against the wall and you hold them that way for a long period of time. And it's a hip opener. It's a big release. Blood rushes to different parts of the body. It's really, really cool. So that makes a lot of sense. The Hanged One, when you're just kind of surrendering. You're in limbo, so you might as well just take advantage, because soon enough there will be something to come around and motivate you. Something that'll take you out of that reverie. So take advantage of it. Here's the Death card, someone who's trying to save her from death, and in saving her from death, he may be killed himself. Right? It's interesting that they're talking about this because the Death card doesn't often actually represent a real honest to goodness physical death. It is about change, but it is also the beginning of major transformation. So let's say that the bus is able to stop, the two of them are saved, but this event literally changes the course of the rest of their lives. Maybe they have never met one another before, and now they're meeting under these circumstances, but then they're going to have some kind of friendship or some kind of relationship moving forward. Maybe it is changing the outlook for the people that are witnessing what is transpiring. Maybe it's going to change the lives of the drivers that are in the bus. So it is about that shift and that change and how it's going to transform you. Here we have the Temperance. Gorgeous. So we have, again, there's an impression of an angel in the sky. She is meditating. She has a number of different bowls and a scale and a gong. Very much, this feels like ritualistic. She's out in the desert and she's reconnecting. She's recharging after a scary experience with the Death card. Here we have the Devil. So temptation. This is what I'm seeing all over the place here is temptation. And there are chains. She's not chained. It doesn't look like she's chained necessarily. Nope, she's not chained at all. But she does have a chain around her neck. So maybe she is chained, although it looks like it ends here. It's not kind of in the back. I don't know. It'll depend on how it comes up in a reading. I would say as to whether she is chained or whether the whole situation is devised to chain all of them, to entrap everyone that is involved. I almost feel a little bit of like magician-y kind of energy here too with the bartender, that maybe the bartender is actually orchestrating all of this and these two are unaware of exactly who is manipulating them, kind of thing. Very interesting. Here we have the Tower. Wow, so powerful. I love the heels. I love the red under the heels. That's a really nice touch. She's got her bags here and she's just dropped her bags. She's holding a ticket in her hand. She sees her kitty cat and she's watching her house burn down. So like, it's important. I feel like it's important to note that the cat is there. So it's like, she's not panicked. The things that really matter are here with her. And now it's just about like, not acceptance of what has transpired. She's in shock, but she's able to kind of just observe what's actually happening. She's a part of the scene now. The Star. Loving this. So we've got, 3 people in the Star card now. That's really cool. So we've got one person who is, interestingly enough, it's like she's pouring a bath. And this one is in the bath, even though it's a boat. This one's in the bath because the water is going into the boat. Yes, it is a bath. Okay, I'm seeing the feet of the bath. Very, very cool approach. A bath in the lake. This one is manicure, painting her toes. It's a self-care. That's what I'm seeing here. Self-care, being pampered, being treated well and treated right. I love the colors in this. Ooh, the Moon. Interesting. Okay, so there's only one dog in the picture, but the shadow is showing the wolf. So that's how they're getting the, sort of the 2 dogs into the imagery. We do have a face in the moon, so the man in the moon. It does look like it's raining. We could say it's showering light, but it actually looks like rain. And she's actually trying to protect herself. She looks scared. She's huddled. The dog is checking on her, wanting to make sure that she's okay. And she's looking out. She's looking a bit. So what this draws to mind here is like lunacy, right? The moon can cause us to feel a bit disillusioned. Things aren't always what they seem. Feeling that your emotions are not predictable, right? That there's almost a scattered energy to this. And so she's worried about something. She's got anxiety about something. The Sun card, loving this, having fun on the beach. Sunflower in the mouth, wearing the sun on his shirt. We're seeing the sun's rays coming out. She's got a blanket or a towel behind her. They're having a blast on the beach. What a great interpretation. Judgment. So giving birth. Wow. Okay. So I got to tell you, with my Phoenix phases, the Judgment card is the Phoenix emerging card, and it is literally the birth canal. So I have never seen a card deck that has gotten it in the way that I've gotten it in this way. I love this. So we have the phoenix burning. So the proverbial rug gets pulled out from under you. You know, maybe it's a tower moment. Maybe it's a change that you've chosen. Whatever it is, you spontaneously combust and turn into a pile of ash. Then you go into the phoenix growing phase, which is the womb. I'm not who I was, but I have no vision of who I'm becoming. I have no idea. I'm here to reflect, to recharge, and to receive, to learn how to be. And it's limbo, right? It's kind of like the hanged one kind of energy. But there's gestation in the process. Then we go into the phoenix emerging, which is okay, what I've been, getting to know and receiving or whatever, I've grown now. I've recovered a little bit from what I've come out of, and now, there's a little light at the end of the tunnel. It doesn't give me the full picture, but it gives me enough that now I'm ready to do the work, to get into the tunnel and get to the other side of it. And this is that 3 steps forward, 2 steps back, but it is a choice. It's absolutely a choice. And it's okay. Do I want one more kick at the can, or am I ready to do this? And so this is the process of giving birth. Then, of course, we have the phoenix rising, which is the fool, and then the phoenix soaring, which is the world. But that's really fascinating to me. I love that. I love this depiction. I really am enjoying this deck so far. The world. So we have young and old or older, all mixed in. We have an angel, a lion teddy bear. We have a little moo cow and a steer or bull or whatever. And then we have the eagle. Very cool. All in a circle. All of their heads are together. That's lovely. Okay, so Ace of Pies. I think this is going to be Pentacles, but I could be wrong. So let's just see here. We're looking at a lot of grassy knoll. I'm seeing a 4-leaf clover for luck. We think of the Pentacles as planting seeds. And we've got a little bit of harvest going on here, a lot of orange that's creeping up. Let's see if I'm right on this. Yes, 2 of Pies, 2 of Pentacles, balancing things out. You've got a little boy here. You've got the older boy who's getting ready to serve. He's a little distracted. He's got a lot of stuff going on, and he's about to trip over this boat that this little boy has, inadvertently put in his way, and disaster is about to happen. 3 of Pies. Oh, I love this, that they're doing the symbols rather than 3 of Pies. They're showing 3 pie. That's kind of cool. 3 pies. So collaboration. We're seeing a collaboration amongst these 3 bakers, cutting some things, apples, it looks like. 4, take your slice of the pie. Oh, I love that. So 4 Pentacles, and the piggy bank here, it's not about greed. It's about, hey, take your slice of the pie. You're earning it, so don't be afraid to use it. You can use it. There's plenty to go around. Don't get stuck, in the accumulation of wealth and doing only that. You've got to move beyond that. But there is protection here with the safe. 5 of Pentacles, free pie just for a smile. Wow. So they're literally sitting under a sign that is saying, hey, free food. All you got to do is smile. And they're sitting under that sign and they're saying need food. So this definitely is, showing me oblivion. It's an invitation to open your eyes, to look around, to check the stories that you're telling yourself. Are they old? Are they invalid? Do they resonate with where you're actually at? And, you have the ability to make different choices for yourself and to, get yourself out of a situation if you don't want to be there. 6 of Pentacles. Okay, so begging for food, and the woman is bringing the cupcakes out. Here's some delicious food for you. 7 of Pentacles. Ooh, this is interesting. It's like she's waiting. So she has all of the pies in the oven, and she's waiting for, I guess, the people to come to purchase the pie. So the harvest is in. Now it's about the work to get it all out there. 8 of Pies, 8 of Pentacles. She's baking something up. So yes, perfecting your craft, mastering your craft. Look at all of the beautiful pies showing her skills and abilities. And she's got all of the ingredients and she's very focused on the work that she's doing. This is a fantastic deck. 9 of pies. So this is Femtrepreneurs today. Woman of the year, the Queen of Pies. I believed I could, so I did. The art of real estate management, from investment to sustainable income. She's got her little kitty here. The path to something, inner development and stability. That is so freaking cool. So lots of that gratitude energy being featured in the magazine for the work that she's done. I love that. 10 of Pentacles. So we definitely have that ancestry kind of energy here. Legacy energy. We're looking at a large home, a homestead. We've got young, middle, older. We've got cats and dogs playing together. Yeah, I love that. Page of Pies. So we have the curious, this is the curious one. She's so curious. She loves to learn about things. What learning journey am I going to be on moving forward? The Knight of Pies. The cake of the day is apple pie. So there's pies here, but he's making bread. And bread takes a little longer, it looks like. So he is taking his time. He's choosing things that take time to make. Queen of Pies, she's smelling the fresh pie. In amongst the orchard, in her garden, she has used some of the beautiful flowers of her garden to decorate the pie itself. She's wearing a beautiful heart pin. She's also wearing green, so very symbolic of that. I want to say that pentacle energy, earthy energy. She's very well put together, and she's also generous. King of Pies, golden pie. We are open. So he's opening up his dream. This is the investment that he has made, and he is happy to share. Ace of lipsticks. So I'm going to go on a limb and say lipsticks are wands. So let's just sort of see how we're doing here. So if it is wands, oh yeah, there's fire here and there's flame. So yes, Ace of lipsticks, Ace of wands, that inspired action energy. And I love all of these phoenix birds and dragon energies that are coming through, kind of like the clouds in the sky. And we have a sunrise or a sunset, depending on how you look at it. 2 of wands, making the choice, this dress or that dress. She's looking fantastic already too, but she's trying to decide, okay, what dress am I going to wear? They're both a similar color, so which one is going to look better on me? I love it. 3 of lipsticks, the expansion energy. So she's been shopping. She's got a lot of different bags in here, and she's having fun. She's very excited about all the places that she's going to go and see, as well as the place that she's already seen in this particular window of time. Gives me that feeling of someone being on vacation, but there's purpose to the vacation. We're also seeing the checkerboard here on the post of the telescope, and it represents the game of life, being connected in some way to the game of life. 4 of lipsticks. So we have that establishment of a new foundation, oohing and awing over a gift, a present. Maybe it's a celebration of sorts, coming to fruition, coming into a new level, a graduation of sorts. 5 of lipsticks, so 5 of wands. So yeah, they're in competition with one another. They've trained with each other, and now they're competing to test out their skills. Miss Ambition, interesting. 6 of lipsticks, love that. So being crowned, Miss Ambition was crowned. There's the victory. Love that. Loving the red color being featured. The red in her hair is also being featured here for the 7 of wands, 7 of lipsticks. Very interesting, like having to protect your privacy. All of these cameras in your face, and you're like, I'm just trying to get into the car. I just need a minute. 8 of lipsticks. So yeah, the purse getting dumped out and all the lipsticks and the mascara flying out. Nine of lipsticks. Everything is ordered. Everything makes sense. There's control here. There's purpose. There's intentionality to everything that is being done. And she's a warrior. She's getting ready to do it looks like a karate competition or something. So there's intention there. Faster, higher, stronger. 10 of lipsticks, 10 of wands. Pushing herself, driving herself, looking at all of these images, trying to be, this. And maybe it's a good thing. Maybe it's a goal that she's working towards, or maybe she's, focused on the wrong things, rather than just accepting who she is, accepting where she's at. She's trying to be something that she's not, right? She's got a to-do list here. She's definitely an A type. And I'm really drawn to, the rat running on the hamster wheel, the hamster running on the wheel. Often that is what we do, where sometimes we have to stop and ask, is this thing that I'm going for even still what I want? Is it worth it? Am I even having fun doing it? Is it worth the effort? Page of lipsticks, so cute. Aw, so like she's dressing up, she's putting the lipstick on her face, she's got the little salamander on her shirt, little purse. It's dress up. She's getting ready. She wants to be like the Queen of Wands. I love that the shoes are 4 sizes too big for her, but she's imagining, she's envisioning what's coming next. Here we've got the Knight of lipsticks. So we've got a lot of tattoo energy here. The tattoo of a dragon, spikes, so protection, looking tough. I want to say, sort of rocker kind of energy here, but there's also a magnetism. Excuse me, a magnetism to this. It's for show, the showman, the showwoman, the show person, knowing how to be a performer. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. Queen of lipsticks. So this is the Queen of Wands, and she's like, all right, let's do this. I got the call 5 minutes ago. All right, I'll be at the restaurant in 20 minutes, and so she's like, she threw on her clothes. She grabbed, a couple of flowers from the garden. She's got her kitty cat. She's hopping in the car and she's just putting her face on. I can't tell you how many times I've done that. I'm like, okay, I'll be there. It's a last minute thing. But like FOMO, right? Like you don't want to miss out on it. King of lipsticks. So, here he's the presenter. He's got a phoenix on his microphone. He's getting ready to pass on, the news. What do inquiring minds want to know, right? And he's putting on the show. He's getting ready to pass on the information. Ace of Cups. So with the Ace of Cups here, we've got this beautiful cup with a full heart and then 2 sort of half hearts, which I think is a kind of a cool design. We have a lot of seashells and a fish that is, sort of being represented in the steam. Again, that sort of cloudy kind of energy. We also have a peace dove around her wrist. Here we have the 2 of Cups. So 2 individuals holding hands, they're fishing. We've got a pair of butterflies, a pair of dragonflies in the mix as well. We're seeing reflection. So a lot of that partnership, pairing, union, soulmate energy. Here we have the 3 of Cups. So 3 women under the moon, actually a disco ball, having a blast at the club. Ooh, I love her bracelet. I used to have a bracelet like that. It was actually an arm cuff that I used to wear that was like that. So fun, super uncomfortable to wear, but really freaking cool. I love that they're going out and having fun. 4 of Cups. So after this one, it kind of makes me think like hangover, like hungover or bummed out because he wasn't part of the fun, or that maybe something happened while they were out having fun, or he's agonizing about what might be happening while they're out having fun. The poor doggy is like, please, daddy, please take me out for a walk. And he's focused on other things. So distraction. 5 of Cups. Aw, broken stuff. That's always hard when we're grieving. Actually, there's a mug that I absolutely freaking loved. I got it at the Carrie Lazy Days festival many, many years ago. It was such a unique deck. It was the most perfect purple for me. It was like like what do you say, like super creative design, like one of a kind. And when it broke, oh my god, I cried and cried. I was like, okay, I know I'm not supposed to attach myself to things, but this one I was attached to. Six of Cups, so we have that nostalgia. We have an older person having tea with the younger person. Dream cocktail bar. So Seven of Cups. Yeah, like if it wasn't for the fact that it had alcohol in it, I'd have one of everything, right? Eight of Cups. So letting go, walking away, release. This is interesting. Yeah, went to the spa for the day. So it's like, okay, he's stuck at home with the kids now, and he's on his own. Like, she needed to get the hell out of Dodge. It's so true. Everyday women tarot. That makes sense. Here we have the Nine of Cups. So all this champagne on the beach, waiting for the party to arrive, or the other party to arrive. There's a celebration planned. There's joy. There's happiness. There's relaxation. Maybe even a little romance planned. Ten of Cups. Here we have the ideal outcome, and this is based on the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith tarot, which is, I feel, why they're showing sort of a family dynamic. I don't always purport to that, but it's the ideal outcome for you in any given circumstance. So I'm loving the rainbow in the background. They're having people moving them in. They've obviously just purchased this home, and they're getting ready to start something new, and they're feeling like they've arrived. Here's the beautiful page. Oh, that's so funny. The Page of Cups. I love this imagery. I have this imagery in a deck that I haven't released yet. That's going to be released in a few months. A similar image, the idea that we're painting our life, and the Page of Cups is all about creativity. And she's painting the goldfish. I think that is brilliant. I love that. Here we have the Knight of Cups, breakfast in bed. Who doesn't like a good breakfast in bed? Queen of Cups, very happy, in the sunlight, in her element. She's wearing blue. She's got the blue bracelet. She's got a crystal around her neck. She's got a blue lotus flower in her hair. She's by the sea. There are the sailboats. She's got some delectable, delicious pie here, a little bit of tea. She's in charge, large and in charge. King of Cups, very pensive. Interesting, very pensive, almost a little stuffy. I don't normally think of a King of Cups as stuffy. He looks a little stuffy. Okay, so here we have the Ace of Swords, of Snakes, which is swords. So this is inspired thought. Snakes also very much are transformational healers, healing wisdom. They are connected to wisdom and knowledge. And we have butterflies. So, initiating transformation, initiating change. Two of Snakes or Two of Swords. So here we have a notice of divorce, a petition for divorce, and someone feeling really sad, having to make this choice. Is this the choice that I want to make? The Three of Snakes. So here she's looking at the pen. This is really interesting. Normally it's a card of heartbreak, and we can see the three swords pointing to the heart. We also see a teddy bear in the background, like a nursery, a baby's nursery. Oh, it's a temperature. It's not a pen. She's taking the temperature. Ah, thank you. So the heartbreak of a mother reading the temperature of the baby, or it's a pregnancy test because the baby might be sick, or it's a pregnancy test. Heart is broken, waiting for the baby, and she's not pregnant. So it can be interpreted, I guess, in a few different ways. Four of Snakes, rest. Yes, ASAP. And she's got nothing left to give. She needs to sleep. And here's the snake, coiled up in the pillow underneath. The dream catcher is there, which is beautiful. She's got a calendar with a bunch of snakes on it. Brilliant. I love this interpretation. Five of Snakes. So this is a card of conflict. And what we can kind of infer from this, well, it's a couple of different things. Either she's watching somebody that she's in love with cheating on her, or she's walking by and this is who she wishes to be. She wishes she had this and she's sad that she doesn't. And there's a conflict in her mind around that. The snakes are represented in different colors, the rainbow colors here on the brick wall. Six of snakes, six of swords, moving on to calmer shores. Yeah, walking down the road, going towards the setting sun, seeing all of these beautiful balloons in the air, the hot air balloons, symbolizing a new journey. And hot air balloons are a peaceful way to get somewhere too. Seven of snakes, seven of swords. We have, it says business strategy. So yes, focusing on the strategy of things rather than the thievery of things. This is definitely a card of strategy. Although it is at night, I get the impression here that she's been working really hard at night in the office and she's finally finished up what she needs to finish up. And she's getting ready to run out to do the strategy because she's been on a deadline. Eight of snakes, eight of swords, very interesting. So she's in a labyrinth and it looks like all she has to do is walk around here and she'd be able to get out, but she keeps getting trapped in her own mind, trapped in her own thoughts. And so this is nine of snakes, nine of swords, and we have the Edvard Munch, the scream in the background. She's woken up. It's, 9 minutes after midnight. She's got beautiful flowers next to her. She's not paying attention to any of that because she's stuck in her head. She's got a dragonfly around her neck. So that idea of flexibility and adaptability. But right now it's like the ghosts of the dream that are lingering. The fears, the anxieties are prevalent. And that's all that she can think about. 10 of snakes. So yeah, the end of something. She's very upset. She's fiddling with a ring on her finger. So the implication of a marriage, and maybe she's getting ready to take that ring off of her finger because there's been a fight, or she's taking that ring off her finger because he's been arrested for something and she didn't know about it. And now she's, her whole world is in shambles, and now everything is different. Everything has changed. Wow. Really interesting. I wonder who was the inspiration for that card. Page of snakes. So this is always, again, curiosity as well, enthusiasm in different things, but curious to learn. And someone is taking pictures of him because he is teaching others about the snake. We're seeing a lot of butterfly energy, so transformational energy, and it's like he's learning so that he can transform himself and become all that he wants to be. Knight of snakes or knight of swords. Here we have someone who is very determined. It takes a lot of determination, a lot of willpower, a lot of strength, a lot of practice, dedication to your craft. Here we have the Queen of Snakes, boundaries, and she's putting a jacket on, getting ready to cover up the snake. Either that, or maybe she's taking the jacket off, although it looks like she's putting it on. Very sensual. You don't often see the Queen of Swords depicted in a sensual way, but she's very sensual in her approach. I love that. And now we have the King of Snakes, the King of Swords. We have an army general here making decisions about fighter jets. Very, very interesting. One of just a handful of men throughout the deck. And I find that an interesting choice. All right. So in true Stacey style, we are going to shuffle these cards up for the Everyday Woman Tarot and see how this deck wants to work with you if you are called to work with this deck. And this is the one that's standing out to me. Oh, I love it. So this deck is always going to give you options. It's going to point out where you are maybe caught up in an illusion of something. It's going to point out where you can have a little more illusion or where you might need to imagine or dream bigger in certain areas of your life. But I also am feeling here that it's going to always give you choice. And I just heard it's going to support any choices that you make. I also just heard that this is the kind of deck where you want to pull clarifying cards, because it is always going to give you options. So, if you're asking a question about something in particular, and you pull a card, it's going to point you in one direction. I'm hearing also pull a second card because it's going to give you that fresh perspective on the other path or the other option that is at play. This deck is also, I feel, going to be very supportive of your feelings. When we think of cups, it's going to support whatever emotions or emotional energy is being stirred up within you. And I feel that it's going to bring a bit of comfort to your choices and to your space. So let's just take a quick peek here and we'll read the Seven of Cups message just to get a feel for the creator's voice. Seven of Cups, you are faced with multiple choices, each one appearing enticing. But be careful, not everything that glitters is gold. This card speaks of temptations, dreams, and illusions that can lead you away from your true desires. What do you really want? What is a real goal and what is merely a fantasy? Now is the time to avoid getting lost in empty promises and instead make a choice that will truly benefit you. Wow. Oh my goodness. Okay, guys, so that is our Divinely Decked for this segment of Black Feather Couture Divining a VIP Life. What a fantastic deck this is turning out to be. The Everyday Woman Tarot. So excited to have been able to share this with you guys. If you like what you see here, like, subscribe, click the bell on my YouTube, share it with anyone that you think would enjoy this type of guidance, this type of content at all. For those of us who absolutely love tarot and oracle, this is such a happy place for us to be. Until I see you for another edition, you guys take care and transform well. That's our show for today. I hope you enjoyed it. It was great to connect with you guys. Please like, subscribe, and comment for more content like this. And feel free to follow me on Blue Sky for even more content every single day. Can't wait to see you guys next week for another installment of Black Feather Couture Divining the VIP Life.